So Evernote is actually one of the best applications that I know in order to structure your own notes and to become more productive and more effective in your working process. So again, Evernote is actually a free version. You can completely use it for free. It has great tools in it. You can also pay some money for it, but most of the time it is just simply enough to have the free version, because every single month you have 60 MB in it, megabytes in it, that you can take up with notes, and that those are like a lot of notes. So don't worry about these 60 megabytes. It is only for people who need to write down a lot of things that they will actually reach that limit. But first of all, Evernote is actually a platform where you can again save notes, structure notes, have notebooks, and we'll also here in this video have a look at how really the platform works. But I want to tell you a little story how this actually helped me to scale my business or to even build my first business. So let me tell you that Evernote is one of the best tools in order to organize yourself properly. The problem with most people and most entrepreneurs, actually everyone, is that they cannot concentrate on the things that they want to concentrate on because they simply don't have the right tools in place in order to just simply get the things done that they want to get done. For example, when they say, all right, I want to come up with great business ideas, they write them down on papers, and the papers are somewhere in their apartment and you don't really know where they are, and at some point you forget about them, and a year later you will discover them again. You think, oh, that was a great idea, but you execute already on some completely different idea. So my advice, first of all, is use Evernote in order to organize yourself properly. It is one of the best tools in order to get everything in one place and to not lose things anymore, except perhaps your password to Evernote. But of course, you should make sure that this is not happening. So what do I use Evernote for? Actually very simple. I use it to jot down ideas on the go and to keep them in a safe place. For example, when I'm on the bus, or when I'm, for example, traveling around via public transportation, because I have to go to a lot of meetings every single day, I try to jot down ideas that come to my mind, whether it's for a new video course, whether it's for a new partner that I want to work with, whether it's a new business that I want to build, a new opportunity that I want to think about, different kind of investment method that I just learned about, or something that was just interesting to me. I write all of that down in Evernote, then I copy paste it and I print it out here at home and I put it into one book where I have all my ideas written down. But my advice to you is, if you want to become very productive and also perhaps want to build a business, then use Evernote in order to structure all of your ideas. Everything that you have in your mind, put it out on Evernote. Also, what you could do in the evening is, when you write down all of your thoughts, write them down perhaps in Evernote and save them for every single day. So for example, every single month you create, let's say, 30 or 31 different kind of note pages, let's call them that way, and you write on those note pages what you did on that day, or all the thoughts that you have in your mind. And then at some point in the future, you can go back to these days and you can review what you did. It is interesting because you will just simply have a bigger memory. Your memory is going to increase and you're going to be able to remember more things because you wrote them down and you have like a little note that tells you, all right, this happened on that day or that happened on that day. So jot down the ideas that you have when you're on the go. Use Evernote for that. You can actually have it on your PC online, or you can just simply go and access it via your smartphone. So when I didn't have a business yet, I saved all of my ideas in Evernote. I had like different categories for them, sometimes even categories by the day. And after like 3 months of brainstorming, I had a collection of ideas on hand to execute on. Because at that time I was sitting together with a friend in a basement, and actually in his basement we all day long thought about business ideas. We didn't have a business yet, but we really want to build a business and we are eager to build a business as quickly as possible. So we thought of ideas. We thought, all right, should we, for example, sell yoga mats online? Should we perhaps, do like a coaching business? Should we invest in certain perhaps asset and make money off the dividends? Or should we perhaps, create Udemy courses? We came up with all of these ideas at that time, and actually that led to my business right now, Teaching Hero, because in that Evernote account, I actually wrote down, why don't you just publish Udemy courses? They will make you some money. And that is how I came up with the idea of Teaching Hero and the international teaching agency that I'm currently managing. So actually this kind of application, this application Evernote, really helped me to build my business, to become successful, to make as much money as I'm making right now, and to really, change my life. Of course, this will not happen to everyone. Not everyone is going to write down an idea that will then turn into a massive business. Of course, there's a lot of execution behind it and a lot of work, but it could actually be the start of something great. It could be a great idea that you're writing down. It could be some great thought that leads to a book, or it could be, a certain concern that makes you become a famous politician or something like that. Who knows? So many things could happen. That's why my advice is write down all of the ideas that you have in Evernote. Make sure that these ideas are structured. Structure them, for example, by the day, that you have categories, that you perhaps also put them in. And believe me, at a certain point, you will look back and you'll think, wow, I had so many ideas and all of them are now somewhere saved. But now let us have a look at how Evernote really works. So now you're here in my Evernote dashboard, and what you can see here is basically all of the ideas that I'm writing down all the time. And when we actually click this away right here, you will see my latest 2 ideas that I wrote down, so both 3 hours ago. So when you're here in Evernote, you actually can write new notes. You can do that just simply by clicking here on plus, then a new note will open. Let's call this note test for Udemy. And then we say, this is a test. So this is basically now the note that we are writing. We can actually play around with it. We can change the writing if we like. We can change it, let's say, we change it to Verdana, this one right here. Okay, let's do this again to Verdana, all right. Okay, as it seems, there we go. Okay, now we got to change to Verdana. We can actually change the size and everything that we want. We can make it bold if we like. Clicking on here, there we go. And then in the end, if our node is finished, we can click here on done. What we can do afterwards, when we click on that node, for example, we can share it with other people by clicking here on share. And we can, for example, share it with people on Facebook, we can share it with people on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or we can just simply take the link and send it to other people, for example, via email. So when we go here to the side, we can actually see the notes that we already created. So clicking here on notes, we see these 3 here again. We can also click down here on notebooks. So this is called now the first notebook. That is this one right here with these 3 notes. We can actually change the title clicking here on info. Then we can go here and call, let's say, Udemy test notebook. There we go. Okay, now we got it changed to this title. Then click on save, and there we go, Udemy test notebooks. Actually, this is very, very simple. You can also add it to shortcuts, and what you do basically is you click up here on this little star. You can add it thus to shortcuts, and then when you go on shortcuts, you just simply see those notes afterwards there. All right, so here we go. So let's click back here on notes, then we will see all the notes again that we have right here. And again, we can share them with other people, we can put them into notebooks, we can create new notes, or we can click here on search and search, for example, for Udemy, and then we'll see that we actually wrote a note that is called test for Udemy, or here one that I actually created a couple of hours ago, that one's called Udemy courses. So the Udemy courses that I'll be creating, a Medium blogging masterclass and a Medium blogging masterclass in German. So I could now, again, share them, or I can change for a different search. I can search also, for example, for test. Then we will see that this node right here was actually a node that had basically the word test in it. So let's go back to the notes, and then there we go again. Here are the 3 nodes that we just wrote, and that is basically it. So if we don't like the nodes anymore, we can click here on delete the node, and then there we go, we get the node deleted. So this is basically how to use Evernote. It's completely for free. You can also, I think, update to a version that actually costs some money, but I think this one is quite enough, because in the end you can use 60 megabytes in order to write notes, and for me this is definitely enough. If it's not enough for you, then perhaps you should, buy the version that costs some money. But for me, again, it is enough. I think also it will be enough for you, and it's a really easy to use tool, so really try it out. There's no difficulty behind it. Just check it out, write down all the notes when you're on the go, and believe me, you're going to become much more productive.